Right now, I'd like you all to join me in welcoming one of our survivors, Gerard. He's been with us for 3 relays, I think. This is the 3rd relay that he's been with us. He's shared his story. I know some of you have heard it before, but this is a big relay for him. This is 8 years that he's been cancer-free. So we definitely want to welcome him up to the stage, and he's got a few words for us.
This is probably the coldest it's been out here during a speech that I've done. So you're witnessing a milestone. You're witnessing a couple milestones, actually. First, I want to thank Jeff. I want to thank Caitlin, the entire committee, CAC, ACS, everybody who's done such a great job with this event. DeSales, you guys really hold a special place in my heart. This is a great event. I love it every year. And, give yourselves a round of applause because you do a great job. Now, like Caitlin said, this is the 3rd year in a row I've been here. First, I'll let you know who I am, what I do. I graduated from Moravian right up the road last May. And I play semi-pro football for the Flemington Generals in Flemington, New Jersey. And I also am a freelance writer for several Patch.com websites. Hopefully an editor soon, fingers crossed. I don't know how it's going to go yet, but we'll see. But most importantly, I'm a cancer survivor, and I'm an avid supporter of this fight. My name is Gerard Longo, and this is how I fought back against cancer. So I'll give a brief background of my battle and what happened with me, how I became involved. March 31st, 2003, I was diagnosed with a very rare and dangerous malignant tumor called a fibrous histiocytoma. I was actually diagnosed with an epithelioid sarcoma, which is even more dangerous, but somehow, through the miracles of science, however, actually got downgraded. Still very dangerous, just not as dangerous. So that was luck on my side. And it was in my left ring finger, and it was encapsulated within the sheath of skin, which, stopped it from spreading all throughout my body, and it would have, if it spread, it wouldn't have been treatable with radiation, so I'm also very thankful for that. And it was just a couple weeks. My treatment lasted just a couple weeks, and it was an emotional roller coaster ride, and it was just filled with fear, doubt, pain, and eventually hope. I had my left ring finger amputated in order to contain the disease and in hopes that I would not have any recurrence. And I was very fortunate to have it contained within that sheath of skin, because it was a very, very aggressive form of cancer, and like I said, would not have been treatable with radiation if it were to spread. I took this as a calling to help those not as fortunate as I, to offer some support, inspiration, and hope to those fighting a battle of their own, and to do what I could to eliminate cancer. I had a second chance in this world, and I was going to do everything in my power to use it. That includes why I'm here tonight. When I found out the day relay would be occurring at DeSales this year, I had to jump on the opportunity to speak here once more. The date of this event, April 15th, is a very significant day to me in my fight against cancer. And it's probably more significant in my fight than any other date, in fact. On this date, 8 years ago, I guess it would be yesterday now, I had surgery to remove my left ring finger and with it the tumor. It was because of this that April 15th, 2003 is a day that I consider to be my secondary birth date. This is because this day 8 years ago was the first day of the rest of my life, as it was the first day of my life after cancer. It was the day that, in the true sense of the word, I began to fight back. Now, 8 years ago at this very moment, I was in recovery at Temple University Hospital in Philadelphia, and I was drifting in and out of sleep after a really exhaustive 8-year procedure. My hand was so heavily bandaged to where I couldn't even see my fingertips. I had no feeling in the hand either, and in my brief moments of being awake, I vaguely remember contemplating how I was going to bounce back from this. The doctors had just saved my life after all, but I had no idea in that moment how to resume life as normal. I had no idea how I was going to get back to playing football and doing all the things I love. And it was really, it was scary, even laying there and knowing that my life had just been saved by this team of doctors. It's like, well, what's my life going to be like after this? It was a wake-up call for me. And I look back at those moments now, and I feel blessed when I think about the positive turns my life has taken since then. I've gone from someone with having no sense of direction to the person standing before you right now. Each step, of course, has been a step toward fighting back against this disease and taking charges of any second chance at life that I've had. And the first step was physical recovery. As a member of my high school's football team at the time, I made a mission to get back in time to play at least a majority of my junior season. The problem with that was that my doctors had originally pegged my recovery time at about 12 months, and in the beginning, it was questioned whether or not I'd be able to play again at all. I took this as a challenge. I went to physical therapy religiously, never missing a session, and cut my recovery time down to August 7th that same year, which was just under 4 months. I would then continue into college and now into the semi-professional ranks, and with each practice, game, and snap, I realized that I'm still fighting back. Equally as important, and it's really hard to see with the light, so I'm going to turn this way. Equally as important at the outset of my recovery was settling back into society. It was going to be an adjustment period, and I knew people were going to be asking me questions about what had gone on during the entire ordeal. And over the past 8 years, I've been blessed time and again with great friends and family, and a wonderful girlfriend who, for the record, I asked out following the same event last year. And I've found this to be uplifting enough to where I'm empowered to talk about my fight against cancer, and the love and support of these people has also helped me to fight back. In fact, the support of those close to me is how I got involved with Relay for Life in the first place. My first relay was with some of my best friends in April 2007 at Westchester University, which was, of course, another step towards fighting back. Here we are in 2011, and as of this moment, I'm participating in my 12th relay event since 2007. In that time at various events, I've laughed, I've cried, I've sung Lady Gaga in drag, and most of all, I've expanded my relay repertoire to where I go on a tour of Eastern Pennsylvania every April to deliver speeches and offer support to all those joining me in this fight. And actually, tomorrow afternoon, I'll also be speaking at Westchester. So, tour in every sense of the word. And all of these are the steps I've taken to fight back. And I do this because I believe in this cause. I believe in our ability to take a stand against this disease, and because I've been touched by hundreds of tremendous people every year during these events. Some of these people have fought cancer and have been very close to me and those close to me. Some have won, some have lost, and I do my best to honor all those people every single day. I walk these events, I make these speeches with those people in mind, and I mean that from the heart. I want my 1.5-year-old niece, who is the most adorable child you'll ever see, I never want her to hear the word cancer. I never want her to know what cancer is. And that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here, because it's touched my life in so many ways. My mother's a survivor. You know, it's affected friends, family, everybody close to me. And it's a disease that must be stopped. And, you know, all of you guys too. Like I said, DeSales has a very special place in my heart, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity to come back here. Some of you are survivors like me. Others have been caregivers. And I've been able to become closer to friends throughout the event. You know, both old and new friends. And regardless of background, though, all of us, every single one, is here for the same reason. We all have been touched in some way by this disease. So I urge you all to keep fighting this disease. It became apparent to me during my very first Luminaria ceremony at Westchester that as a collective human race, we have the power to wipe out this disease. I've seen how people can come together to do great things through this very event, and I would urge everybody here to continue doing that, not only for the remainder of this event, but all day, every day. Cancer may not sleep, but one thing cancer hadn't planned on is the fact that we never give up and that we won't stop until we've won once and for all. You've all taken a step in this fight by being here tonight, and I urge you all to continue taking those steps and to make the way you live your lives an example of how to fight back. Thank you.